Hello lovely people, and how are you doing? My name is Jackie and this channel is Driving Womanhood. If you're new to this channel, please feel much welcomed and hit that subscribe button to join this family of thriving women. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always stopping by to watch my videos. I'm eternally grateful. So are you there and you're struggling with an habit? Are you there and you're trying to break an habit? Are you there and you've broken an habit severally and it has repeated itself in your life? Worry no more, because in this video we are going to give you 6 practical steps on how to break bad habits. And why breaking bad habits? It's because personally I had bad habits and I still have some bad habits that I am dealing with, and I thought you are also struggling with an habit that you're trying to break, and we can do this together. Let's dive right into the video and deal with that habit once and for all. Habits are behaviors or thought patterns that we repeat so often until they become automatic in our lives. Habits can be either bad habits or good habits. And good habits are those habits that make our lives productive and profitable, and they help us manage our lives. When it comes to bad habits, they are those habits that make us feel stuck and so unproductive. Some of the examples of good habits are workout routines, the reading habits, the fellowship habits, drinking water, eating healthy foods, taking a walk for prayer, reflection, meditation, journaling, and all that. So those are good habits that help us improve on our lives. Some of the examples of bad habits are compulsive use of social media or computers. You're there scrolling 1 hour, 2 hours in counting. Excessive spending of finances, where you excessively spend your finances without thinking about tomorrow, without saving them or investing them. Excessive watching of the series, movies, eating junk food or stress eating, biting nails, gambling. And for me, the bad habit that I've been trying to break is that of social media. I find myself using my phone so much. You might find an hour I'm scrolling through Instagram for an hour. Yeah, and that is an habit that I've successfully dealt with, and I'm not where I'm supposed to be, but I'm work in progress. You'll find out that bad habits, they have a way of interrupting your life and preventing you from accomplishing your goals. For example, if my goal is to read 1 chapter in a day or 2 chapters in a day of book in order to promote my intellectual capacity, then if I'm going to scroll on social media for 2 hours, it means that time that I was to read the book and do other things, that is the time I'm using to scroll social media. So meaning that I will not be able to accomplish that. If you have some deliverables or some objectives of the day and you spend 2 hours scrolling, then that means that those 2 hours are wasted, unless it is focused scrolling or focused use of social media. We know that nowadays there is digital content creation, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just scrolling without minding and you find out that your time is gone. Remember that time will never be recovered. If it is gone, forget about it. We can save the time that we have today, but we cannot save the time that we had yesterday. That is past, it is gone. You cannot create more time. Bad habits can also make our lives difficult, leading to all sorts of bad consequences. For example, if you're the kind of person who does overspend and you're not keen on the future, saving for tomorrow, you might find that your job has been terminated. What will you survive on? You see? So the consequence of that habit is that you don't know how to survive without your income. And it is good to develop positive or healthy habits such as saving, investing, and so on. My friend told me that you should have 7 streams of income. That's what I'm currently working on. I already have 2, and my prayer is that we will realize the way or the path to financial freedom, and that comes with making simple decisions such as dealing away with our bad habits. So, breaking bad habits is a challenging task, but with the right attitude and the right approach, it is possible to break, overcome them, and walk in total freedom from those habits. Yes, I know people who have broken bad habits and they are living in freedom and their lives are full of positivity. There's a lot of rewards that comes from breaking these bad habits if we are willing to take the challenge. Okay, guys, have you struggled with an habit? And if you don't mind, you can share what that habit was or is in the comment section down below. And what approach did you take in order to break that habit if you have already broken it? So what are some of these rewards or benefits that comes when we break bad habits? One, it is good or better health, because if you're feeding on junk food daily, it means that it is affecting your health. And if you develop better habits of eating fruits, healthy foods, then you boost your health and your immunity. Number 2, you become more productive in life. For example, because you have more time and you will put more effort and more focus on what you're doing. Then number 3, better relationships with your family, friends, and relatives. This is because you create more time, and therefore you have time to talk with your parents, to talk with your siblings, to talk with your spouse. You have time to spend with your spouse, friends, and also relatives. Another benefit is that it boosts your self-confidence. For example, if you develop an habit of working out daily or 3 times a week, it helps in toning up your body, and this will boost your self-confidence even as you're walking, as you're talking, and you know that you're well. And if you develop habits of reading books, whenever you talk with people, you feel that you're giving them relevance or you're contributing positively to their lives. And another point is that you get to save more money. Yeah. If you develop an habit of investing, an habit of saving money and not overspending, therefore you're going to save more money and you're going also to create more money. So you will end up saving on finances. And we have many more benefits of breaking bad habits and building healthy habits. You could tell us in the comment section down below some of the benefits that you get from breaking the bad habit that you had. Let's discuss these 6 practical steps on how to break these bad habits. The first practical step is to identify and understand the habit that you want to break. it is impossible to break what you don't know. So it is good that we identify, and not only identifying but also understanding the habits that we want to break. And in understanding, we will follow these 3 steps. And these steps will help us to ask ourselves the question that if we are going to answer those questions genuinely, then we will be able to tackle this habit. The first question to ask yourself is, why do you engage in that habit? People engage in various habits because of various reasons. For example, let's look at an habit of lying. Why do you tell lies? Why do you find yourself telling lies over and over again? Even on the smallest things, you find yourself you're telling lies. We could have 3 reasons. One is the issue of identity. You want to tell a lie, people to see you in a particular way. This means that you want to maintain a particular image that you're not. 2, maybe it is in order to cover a mistake that you've done. Or 3, maybe it is a bondage. You are under the bondage of telling lies. So please make sure that you reflect on why you engage in that habit. The next question that we are asking ourselves, well, in order to understand the habit, is, what triggers this habit? Be honest with yourself. It is good to know what triggers the habit. Remember that it is very hard to do away with the fruits without dealing with the roots of that tree. We will have more fruits being produced. The same with our habits. We might be killing the habit, but we have not removed the triggers and the root causes from the way, and therefore we end up doing empty work that is not rewarding. So we need to know the triggers in order to be able to deal with that habit. The next question that will help us understand our habits is, what benefits do you get from the habit, or what rewards do you get from that habit that you're engaging yourself in? Let's talk of junk foods. You eat the junk food and you feel good, the sugars, and all that. You feel nice. You have that energy for some time, and then it elapses. And imagine you can get the same reward from something else. What do you think you can get the same reward of junk foods from? The same kind of, a different kind of food. Yeah. By understanding the habit and gaining insights about that habit, it is easier to address it effectively because you've been able to analyze that habit and to understand it. The practical step number 2 is to set goals. It is good to set SMART goals, and we all know that SMART stands for simple, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So clear and specific goals will help you in your efforts to doing away with the bad habit. This is because you're focused, because your goals are clear, they are very specific, they are realistic, they are time-bound. For example, instead of saying, I should stop procrastination, you can set a goal such as, I will finish my work tasks by 6 p.m. every day for the next 2 weeks. As you can see, that it is time bound, it is very simple, it is realistic, and it is also attainable and very specific. Finish my work tasks by 6 p.m. every day for the next 2 weeks. Clear goals will always provide focus and motivation in dealing with what you've set the goal to deal with. And that's why your goals should always be very clear. When setting goals, remember to start small and start with one habit at a time, because when you deal with a lot of habits, it can be cumbersome and tiresome also. The third practical step on how to break a bad habit is to replace the bad habit with an healthy one or a positive habit. Breaking a bad habit is more successful when you replace it with a positive or a better alternative of that habit. This calls us to identify a more healthy or positive habit that will fulfill the same benefits that comes with a bad habit. And this way, breaking that bad habit will be more successful comparing to when you're struggling to just deal away with the habit without replacing it with a positive one. There's a need of swapping. You swap the bad habit with a good habit so that you do not leave a vacuum. You're going to replace that habit. For instance, if you want to stop snacking on junk foods, you can replace them with drinking water or fresh made juice, or eating your favorite fruits and vegetables. I know everyone, even those people who love junk food, they normally have their favorite fruits. The fourth practical step is to create a supportive environment. Remember that your environment plays a significant role when it comes to dealing with your habits. It plays a significant role in influencing your habits. So there's a need to modify your environment in order to be able to break the bad habit. Remove any triggers or cues that remind you of the habit or prompts the habit, and replace them with positive reminders. For example, you can buy yourself a water bottle that has the motivation to take water in every other time. And also, you cannot store up junk foods in your fridge and you want to break the habit. If you want to do away with the junk food, then you go to the fridge and remove all the junk foods and replace them with the fruits and vegetables, so that whenever you want to snack, you'll pick whatever is available. This works so well even for children. For example, if your children are snacking too much on junk food, you can buy some fruits and put them on the counter where they are seeing them. And that way, they are going to pick what they see, because whenever they feel like snacking, they will run into the kitchen, and whatever they see, that's what they're going to pick. Again, on the environment, we cannot forget about people. Remember to surround yourself with supportive people who are going to encourage and support your efforts in breaking the bad habits, because they are those friends who tells you, you're not taking those junk foods. Let me take. In heaven we'll have new bodies, yet we are stewards of our bodies. So surround yourself with those people who are very supportive of what you're doing, and they recognize and support your efforts on breaking this bad habit. Again, avoid the situations that will tempt you to fall back or still engage. Practical step number 5 is to practice self-discipline and be patient. The Bible tells us in the book of Hebrews chapter 12 verse 11 that no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. So from the Bible, discipline is never easy. It never seems pleasant at the time that we are exercising that discipline. But let alone, however, it produces a harvest, not even a fruit, harvest. Guys, harvest is normally a huge. It produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. So we are being trained by discipline, exercising self-discipline. That's how we go through the training of breaking this bad habit. And again, we have to be patient with ourselves. You have to be patient because the change that you're looking forward to, it will not happen overnight. It will take time for you to overcome the habit completely. And remember that setbacks are normal. You should not give up. You should be patient. Let this self-discipline give you the training that you need so that at the end of the day, you're going to have an harvest. If you're going to be patient and willing to be trained by this discipline of breaking that bad habit. Whenever you're tempted to engage in the habit you're trying to break, remember to try these 3 things. One is to self-talk. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself, I got this. I'll make it without that junk food for the day. Tell yourself that you have a choice to make, and my choice is an apple over a piece of cake. Talk to yourself. Engage yourself. Remind yourself why you're on this journey. The other thing you can do is to do something else immediately. For example, if you feel like picking up your phone, pick your Bible, girl. Pick your Bible and read. Okay? Read a verse or 2. Read a chapter. The third thing, you can take a deep breath. And that way, you'll be able to overcome the temptation and try those 3 techniques in case you're tempted to engage in that habit. Celebrate small victories along the way and also remind yourself of the progress you've made so far. Yeah, celebrate the small wins. If it is in a journal it. Buy yourself a gift for making some small victories or small wins, and also keep reminding yourself of how far you've come. For example, I told you in the beginning of this video that I was struggling with the social media. It is not an habit that I've been struggling with for a long time, but I've picked it up for 10 months ago. And it is something I've discovered over time that every other time I'm picking my phone, scrolling, I view all the statuses of the WhatsApp. I told myself, I'm not going to use my phone from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. So I have 9 to 9 rule, where I'm not going to engage in social media unless it is something that someone has told me, hey, girl, check your WhatsApp. So it is happening slowly, and I thank God that I'm gaining the discipline of engaging that time with other disciplines like reading the book. I'm sure I'm making progress, and I'm celebrating the small wins, the small victories that I am making. The last practical step is to pray about the habit you're breaking. Yes, I know some people think that prayer is a cliche, but prayer is a powerful weapon that every person should try using that weapon and learn how to use it in every situation and see the miracles that God works through prayer. So prayer works miracles, it also works wonders. And for me, I've seen the power of prayer in my life, and I cannot finish on these steps without mentioning about prayer. So pray about the habit you're trying to break. Bring your struggles and desire for change to God in prayer. cry out to your Father in heaven, because someone said if there is a man to pray, then there is a God to answer. Remember that we can talk to our Father in heaven and He can help us in breaking that habit. For example, those habits that are bondage, you've tried everything. Prayer works miracles. Ask for His strength, His guidance, His transformational power to help you overcome that habit. Pray about it. Wrestle with it in prayer. For prayer is an effective weapon. And through prayer, God will help you overcome that habit. There are things that will break by prayer and fasting. So there is need for prayer in order to overcome these bad habits that are taking bondage of our lives, that are stealing away our productivity. And there's power in the name of Jesus. There's power in prayer. So as we do prayer and fasting over these habits, God will help us break them, because there's nothing He cannot do. He can move the mountains. He can level the valleys. And He is our Father. We can cry out to Him. Remember that breaking a bad habit is a gradual process that requires commitment, effort, perseverance, persistence, and reliance on God's grace. If you find it so challenging to break the habit, it is good to seek for help or support. You can have a support team that will help in working with you. Do not struggle alone. We are here for each other, and we are our sister's keeper. We are done with the practical steps. What do you think? Have you tried these practical steps? Have they worked in your life? Tell us in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching this video. For now, it's a bye-bye. See you in my next video.